friends, welcome to AFS. Have you filed your income tax return for the assessment year 2020-2021? I hope you're nodding in a yes, and that's good. But if your answer is no, then let me remind you that the original due date for filing income tax return for salaried employees was July 31st, 2020, which was then extended 3 times by the Income Tax Department due to the pandemic, and the latest extension was up till January 10, 2021. If you have not filed despite of these extensions, then you are already late. But don't worry, you still have an opportunity to file the return of income under Section 139(4) of the Income Tax Act, which is termed as belated return. So whenever you file a return of income after the due date of filing the return of income or extended due date of filing return of income up till the end of the assessment year, it is termed as belated return. So you can file your belated return up till March 31st, 2021. However, this will come at a slight cost to you. Because of the delay, Income Tax Department charges a fee or penalty under Section 234F, which is about 1,000 if your total income is below 5 lakh, or 10,000 if your total income is above 5 lakh. So now you should file your return of income without any further delay quickly. Yes, you have heard me right. I am asking you to file your own income tax return, that is ITR-1. Is it doable? Of course, if you have inclination, patience and time to learn and apply the provisions, it's doable. Plus, ITR-1 is a very simple form and 80% of your job is already done by your employer. So, without any further wasting of time, let's quickly learn the process of filing ITR-1. Before beginning the filing of your ITR-1, you need to collect all the documents like Form 16 that will be given by your employer to you, Form 26AS which gives all the details of tax deducted at source and also the advance taxes and self-assessment tax that you have paid during the year, your bank account details, your housing loan if you have one SOP property and you have taken a loan on that and you want to claim the interest and principal repayment, then the housing loan certificate should be collected. Details of all your other income like interest on saving bank account, interest on FDRs, dividend received from company, all these information needs to be collected and placed in one folder. So let's begin the process of filing ITR. I'll just show you the folder. This is the folder I have created and I have placed all the documents, Form 16, Form 26As, workings of ITR-1 and other income, and this is the ITR-1 form that I have downloaded from the income tax website. So I'll just show you how you can go about it. So this is the Income Tax India efiling.gov.in website. You can see here there is an IT return preparation software. So if you click here, you can download this Excel utility or Java utility. So today we'll work with this Excel utility. So click here, download this Excel. It will be available to you in the form of a zip file. Extract ITR-1 and rename it in your name. And then we'll begin the process. I also wanted to show it to you that how do you download Form 26As. Here, registered user, click here. So once you click here, you get this page. Fill in your details like PAN number, your password and the code and log in. So once you log in, you will get this kind of dashboard. If you log in here, you view your Form 26As for tax credit. So you can download your Form 26As from here. Yeah. So now let's begin the process of ITR-1. I'll take you through the Form 16 first. So Form 16 has these details wherein your name, your PAN number, your employer's PAN, TAN, tax account number, all the salary that is paid to you, the TDS made and the TDS deposited, the total amount is given here. And then in Part B, the entire tax computation is given in the form of salary, value of perquisite, profit in lieu of salary. So if you want to learn more about this, please watch my previous video where I have explained the structure of CTC. We can use Form 16 to fill in our ITR1. So let's quickly open our ITR1. Please remember, before using ITR1, you need to enable all the macros. So if you see the utility provides you with certain instructions, say okay, how do you enable all the macros? Go to File, go to Options. In Options, go to Trust Center. In Trust Center, go to Trust Center Settings. And from Trust Center Settings, you have something called as Macro Settings. In Macro Settings, press Enable All Macros before using this utility. So we have done everything as okay. Now, if you look at ITR1, you have some general information there as your first name, your middle name, your last name, your PAN number. I've already coded the data here so that we don't waste much of our time. Then enter your Aadhaar number. Then enter your complete address. Also enter your date of birth. This is important, nature of employment. So you have options like central government, state government, public sector, others, pensioners, not applicable. Since this SSC we are filing for is others, it's a private sector employee, so I have taken others. Then here, this is a new addition which says that even if you are not required to furnish return of income, but if you fall under the 7th proviso of section 139(1), if you have done any one of these three given below, so I'll just read them out for you. So you are not required to file return of income, but if you have deposited an amount exceeding 1 crore in one or more of your current accounts in the previous year, then you need to file this return of income and give the information here. Have you incurred any expenditure on foreign travel of rupees 2 lakhs for yourself or any member, any other person? Or you have incurred expenditure of an amount exceeding 1 lakh on consumption of electricity during the previous year. So if any one of this applies to you, just click on a yes here and then select which of the section is applied to you and say a yes. Yeah, but since this does not apply to us, I'll just say a no here. Okay, so the next section gives details of your email address, mobile number, filed as. So now here, if you see this drop down, section 139(1) is on or before the due date of filing return of income. But now since we are filing after the due date of return filing, we need to select section 139(4), that is belated return. And then there are certain other details. If you are filing a revised return or your earlier return was a defective return and you are filing a revised return, then you need to give a detail. These details are not applicable for us because we are filing belated return. So look at the first point. The first point is computation of income under the head salaries. And if you see gross salary, they have given under that three headings like salary as per section 17(1), value of perquisite and profit in lieu of salary. So if I quickly switch to Form 16, all these details are already available to you. So salary as per provision 17(1) is given to you as 30,08,475. So I've already keyed that for you. And then the next element is perquisites, value of perquisites. If you want to know more about perquisite, watch my previous video. And this is 75,000 value of perquisite is given. So key in 75,000 as value of perquisite. Then profit in lieu of salary, there is nothing in Form 16 given as profit in lieu of salary, so keep it as 0. So we have filled in and we have got the total salary here. Now you need to fill in the details of what allowances that you have already put as a part of salary as per section 17(1), which of them you are claiming exemption for. So allowances like leave travel concession, HRA, and many other allowances are exempt. So what applies to you, you need to check in Form 16 where your employer would have given what applies to you. So in this case, allowances to the extent exempt under section 10 are, first is leave travel allowance, which is exempt to the extent of 84,800. So key in the amount here 84,800 and select from the drop down the leave travel allowance. So you have multiple other allowances which can be claimed as exemption. Depending upon what your employer has provided in your Form 16, key in the numbers. The second allowance that is provided in Form 16 is HRA, which is house rent allowance under section 1013A, which is to the extent of 2,15,112. So key in that amount here, select from the drop down the applicable thing, which is 1013A, and then key the amount. Under any other deduction, there's also one more deduction provided by the employer, which is allowance for child's education, which is 1,200. So claim that deduction here. Select others because they have not listed it here. Select any other and then key in the number details as child education allowance. And the amount 1,200. So after keying in these details, you have your gross salary, the allowances which are exempt, net salary. Standard deduction will already come as 50,000. You cannot change, you can just change the green cells, you can't change any other cells which are not green. So it will automatically come as 50,000, which is available to you, whatever is your level of salary. For private sector employees, entertainment allowance does not apply. If there is a profession tax deduction, you can key in the profession tax number here, 2,500. So key in 2,500 as profession tax paid, and now you have income chargeable under the head salaries, which is computed for you. If you have house property, one house property, and you want to claim interest on that housing loan that you have paid, you can key in that here, interest payable on borrowed capital. Look at your housing loan certificate and key in the number. This number should be input as a positive number and not as a negative number. So I've keyed in the number. Please remember, if you have a SOP property, there is a cap on the interest that you can claim, which is up to 2 lakh rupees. The instruction is even given here. So you can claim here up to 2 lakh, that is your interest amount, or 2 lakh, whichever is lower, here as interest deduction for income under the head house property. Once you do that, the next section comes as income from other sources. Here you can key in interest on saving account, interest on deposits, and any other income that you might have, key in those details. So for my SSC, if you see, I have made a workings here, and under this workings, I have other income details as interest from FDR, where the income is this much and TDS done is this much, and interest on saving bank account is this much. So both this incomes I need to key in there. I'll also show you Form 26AS, which gives me the details of. So if you see, this is Form 26AS, and it gives me the name of the bank which has deducted my TDS, and these are the number of the amount paid or credited to me along with the TDS made. So I need to take these amount and key it in as my income from FDR, interest on FDR. So it is 13,70,000, and here interest on saving account is 4210, and interest on bank deposits and FDRs is 13,70,000. So key both this number, and if you have any other income details, you can just add the row here. Click on add row. So how many rows you want to add, it will show here. So just click 1, okay. And if you want any other income to be shown here, just type, if it's visible here, it's fine, or type others and give what is the nomenclature of that income and key in the amount. Let's move forward. So after that, you get the computation of gross total income, which is already done for you. Now you come to Chapter 6A deductions, which is all the investment that you have made during the year that you need to give here. It can be, the deduction can be in the form of your premium paid on life insurance, or contribution made to EPF, contribution made to PPF, or multiple other things that are available under ATC. Key in the amount here, and as you know that ATC deductions, the limit is 1,50,000. So whatever amount you key in here for all the investments made, the cap will be 1,50,000. So the return automatically generates 1,50,000 here. Then let's move down. If you have any other investments made, like if you have ATD deduction on your health insurance or medical insurance premium paid, so you'll have to fill in this form for ATD and key in the number will automatically appear here. Or look at all these kind of deductions that are available under Chapter 6A, and if you have them, you need to key them. Yeah. One thing that we have already inputted in our return is interest on saving bank account in case of other than resident senior citizen. So we need to key in our number here because we have already keyed in a data of interest on saving bank. So it is 4210. It's exempt up to 10,000 rupees. So we have to claim this deduction and key in here 4210. And these are all the deductions that are available for this assessee. Then once this is done, you are being asked to report any exempt income. So if you have, let's say, the classic kind of exempt income is interest on PPF, Public Provident Fund. So just click here. If you have an exempt income declaration, this is not going to be charged or added to your taxable income, but this is a disclosure, additional disclosure. So select your exempted incomes, like if you have dividend income which is lower than 1 lakh rupees, select that. Or if you have interest on PPF, select that. If it's not available here under the drop down, you can just select any other, give the nomenclature as interest on PPF and fill in the amount. So there are no exempt income details for this assessee, so we'll just keep it blank. Here everything gets computed automatically, so you don't need to touch this thing. Now go to the TDS tab. Once you move on to the TDS tab, you need to fill in the details about the TDS made by your employer on your behalf, as well as TDS made by banks if you have FDRs with banks, or any other TDS made that you are filing here. So look at Form 26 AS, and if you see, this is the employer, and the TDS made by the employer on your behalf is 6,09,917. So you need to key in these details here. Key in the TAN number of your deductor, which is your employer, the name of the deductor, that is the name of your company, income chargeable under the head salaries, which is given to you, and the total tax deducted, which is 6,09,917. After you do key in this, come to the portion here. This is tax deducted from income other than salary, so which is your other income. So to Form 26 AS, you have a name of the bank which would have deducted. So this is a sample form made for you. So I have not given the name of the bank, but here generally the name of the bank would appear, the TAN number of the bank, the amount paid, interest paid during the year to you, and the tax deducted on your behalf. So key in these details here. So here you will key in the TAN of the bank name, total income or gross receipts paid to you in the form of interest, and the tax deducted at source. You also need to give which year. So your year is 1920. Now, if you come down, this space provides you to give details of the advance tax or self-assessment tax that you have paid. So again, go to your Form 26 AS, and if you come down below, you have the details of taxes paid by you during the year. So key in these details in Form ITR1. So what you need to key is BSR code, the date of deposit of the tax, the serial challan number of the tax, and the tax paid amount. So key in this very carefully, looking at Form 26 AS. Once you do this, then go to the top and validate the sheet. This is a very important step, so you need to go on validating each of the sheet. If TCS requirements are applicable to you, you need to fill in here. Then come to the DI sheet, wherein details of investments. So due to pandemic, they had given an extension of investment to be made from 1st of April 2020 to 31st of July 2020. So if you have made any investment not during your previous year but after your previous year for Chapter 6A deduction, then you need to key in the amount here, bifurcating what is claimed before and what is claimed after. Yeah. Then let's go to the ATD sheet. This is for medical and insurance premium that you have paid for yourself and your family and paid for your parents if they are senior citizen. So you need to give details here. So I have clicked no because this assessee have not claimed any medical insurance premium. So I've clicked a no here, and you can click a no here as well. Validate the sheet. The sheet is okay. Then if you have made any donations, you can key in it in the tab ATG. So all your donations made to the parties and you have a deduction under ATG. So that computation is available. So check whether the donations are eligible for 100% deduction or 50% deduction based on the donation receipt that you would have got, and claim the deduction accordingly here. So now let's go to the taxes paid and verification sheet. This is an important sheet. You need to first fill in these details. On this sheet, you need to file here your bank account details. So here you need to give details of all your current bank accounts. So if you have, let's say, 4 bank accounts, key in the details as IFSC code, bank name, account number for each of those bank accounts here. So you can keep on adding rows here and populate the bank account details. And click one of the account that you wish to generate. If there is a refund in your return of income, then that refund will be credited to the bank account. So we have assumed that this person has only one bank account and we have given the details here. But you need to necessarily give all the bank account details here, all the active bank accounts. Once you do that, just validate this sheet. Taxes and verification sheet is okay. Now press calculate tax. So once you press calculate tax, this utility automatically calculates the tax for you. And if you come to this sheet, you know that your total tax payable, just come to the sheet and look here. So your total tax payable for the year, total tax fee and interest payable for the year is 10,16,156. Do you see this fee under section 234F? 10,000. This is automatically now levied because you are filing belated return, so you cannot escape it. So the fees is there, and including the fees and the health and education cess, the total tax payable including cess and fees is 10,16,156. And here it shows that your advance tax, your TDS, and your SA tax, whatever if you have paid, after deducting, what is the amount that you need to pay or what is the refund due to you. So in this case, we have a refund of 40,760. Do not forget to click which bank account you want the refund in. So this is the refund amount which will get credited to the bank account selected here. And that's it, guys. You have already filed your income tax return. What do you need to do next is, after validating everything, you just need to click Generate XML. So once you click Generate XML, it says please verify TDS statement. So you just need to click OK. Just verify the summary here. So all these details, if are correct, you can just press Save XML. Once you press Save XML, an XML file will be generated. Say OK, and the XML file got generated and it's appeared here. This is the file that you need to file on the income tax e-filing website. So I'll tell you how to do that. So let's go here, e-file the income tax return. So once you go here, your PAN number is here, select the assessment year, select the ITR form that you wish to file, select the filing type and select the submission mode. So upload XML is our mode. So we just click upload XML. Now you need to select, because after uploading the XML file, you need to do an e-verification of it. So select one of this method. To either you can do it through your Aadhaar OTP, or if you have an already generated an EVC verification code, you can do it through it. I generally prefer doing it through Aadhaar. My phone number is linked to my Aadhaar and I get an OTP immediately. So you can do whichever is convenient for you. And once you do that, click continue. So just say I agree. And you can upload your XML file. So you can upload your XML file and your return will be filed, and after your e-verification, your income tax return will be on this website. If you see on the dashboard, it will show as the income tax return is e-verified. So guys, this was the simple process of filing ITR1. I hope you would find it easy when you try doing it for yourself. Thank you.